Okay, YouTube world, it's been a while since I did an update on, actually it's going to be all three vehicles, including the Blazer, which is in the garage. And let's see, the biggest thing is 2010, now you can tell it's got a V8 in it. And race truck hasn't changed much, except for I got a new gauge cluster. He wants to go for a ride, not happening. New gauge cluster from US Speedo, and I will be first and foremost to tell you that. Oops, I tried to switch the camera to my face, but it doesn't work. I personally would not recommend them. It took 4 days longer than they said it would, and I paid $285 and only got half of what I asked for. I asked for a 99 to 02 Denali cluster overlay and a transmission temperature gauge added, and they only put some generic gauge overlay on there, and half of my cluster doesn't work some of the time. So, would never recommend them. I'd rather buy a used cluster and do it myself. Now, to the 2010, the exhaust. It is a stainless steel Black Widow Race Venom. It is a single muffler, single in, 3-inch in, 3-inch out, welded at shop at HSP one day after work. But the biggest thing, oops, one-handed trying to do a dog, sorry. But the biggest thing is it actually now sounds like it's got a V8. So, I will show you. Bear with me, switching hands. As far as drone goes, it drones after 2,000 RPM, but like in between 2,000 and 2,500. But under 2,000 RPM, you cannot even hear it. It sounds nice and throaty like this all the time. It sounds really good. And just for a comparison, let's do race truck. Come over here, I'll put new red LEDs in there, and I put red LEDs in my cluster because I asked for reds and they gave me blues behind a blue background. So now I put white bulbs, or actually red bulbs behind a blue background, and they look okay. Doesn't do exactly what I wanted, but hear this truck. Come around this side. Sorry about the wind. It is October, the end of October, so things starting to dry up, rain and freeze, wintertime. And that is the VX 2541 single in, single out, 3-inch muffler. So VX is a muffler company that makes basically knockoffs of Flowmasters. This Race Venom was $127 shipped. This was $75 for the muffler to put on at a local shop. So, in my personal recommendation, I'm going to buy a Race Venom for this truck because it sounds great. It sounds nice and throaty. It doesn't rasp. It just sounds mean. Every time I get an exhaust on a truck, I've always told whoever I wanted it, or to get it on, whoever I am paying to put it on, or if it was doing it myself, or we're just talking about it, I don't want loud raspy. I want the growling eat your children sound. I don't want something loud. I just want something that sounds like I'm gonna eat your children, and that's what I got with this 2010. So I am more than pleased with that. Update also, truck has 77,000 miles on it. I've put 27,000 miles on this truck since March. So how many ever months that is? Probably almost half a year. That's all right, I guess. I mean, that's just driving. Literally driving back and forth to work and a few places on the weekends. But how it usually works out is I'll drive the 2010 to work during the week and then drive the race truck on the weekends. So let's go into the garage. Ready? Let's go to the garage. He knows what's up. He's a very curious dog. Get our keys here. This was a faded out Dale Earnhardt key. Can't find another one or else I'd replace it. Okay, now Blazer. Yes, the Blazer is here and she is alive. As far as diagnosing what's been wrong with this thing, battery would die constantly, and that was because it was a very cheap O'Reilly's battery, and I opted to get the expensive O'Reilly's battery now. Same thing that's in race truck. It's like 750 or 800 cold cranking amps, which is fine with me. Here's what we do with Remy. Take this. He'll go wherever he wants.